going to discuss Chapter 6, Measuring the Business Results for Insurance Company. According to the Ministry of Economy Resolution number 157 for 1999, insurance company shall work to prepare a group of statements in order to clarify its financial positions. Number 1, the budget. Number 2, the income statement. Number 3, the revenue and expense statement for personal insurance. Number 4, the revenue and expense statement for property insurance. And finally, the statement of cash flow. Important accounting policy should be disclosed in order to understand the financial statements correctly, taking into the account the following. The statement shall include disclosures of the important accounting policies used in preparing, of which includes like the percentage for calculating the provisions, the disclosure of accounting policy in an integral part of the financial statements, the explanation showing the details of all the movement and assets of important items, to take into account the non-merge and exclude some important clarification that may disturb the extent of the financial statements expressed by the financial position. We need more details of how to prepare the general statement. Considering of what is stated in the Ministry Resolution 157 for 1999, there is a special order for preparing the financial statement. Number 1, you have to start with the surplus or the deficit of the insurance activity or the main activity of the insurance company. This item includes the surplus or the deficit that has been carried forward from the income and expenses prepared for by various branches. The first branch to be included is the personal insurance and capitalization and its subcategories, like the life insurance of all kinds, personal accident insurance, and long-term medical capitalization operation. The second type to be disclosed in the financial statement is the property and liability insurance. There are sub-items included in the property and liability insurance. You have to prepare it in the same sequence. Number 1, statement of income and expense of the insurance branch against fire, statement of revenue and expense insurance branch for risks like land and river. Number 3, statement of revenue and expense of insurance branch for aircraft. Number 4, statement of revenue and expense for auto insurance or car insurance. Number 6, statement of revenue and expense of engineering insurance. Number 7, statement of revenue and expense of insurance branch for petroleum insurance. And finally, statement of revenue and expense of insurance branch for various accidents and liabilities. Second item to be disclosed is the net income from unallocated investment or other investment. Number 3, other revenues, which includes other revenues that are not included in a separate account. Number 4, depreciation provision for fixed assets. This account includes the loss of unassigned fixed asset used internally in the company. Number 5, other provisions. This item includes provisions made up during the year. This item is subdivided into the following. Number A, tax provision. This account includes what is created during the financial period to meet with the disputed taxes between the company and the government, as well as the tax differences that may arise upon tax examination for the previous years. The second subcategory is the others. This is allocated to meet any potential obligation or claims. Each obligation is individual, such as in provisions for differences in the sale and adjustments of real estate, provision for production development, and expansions of provision for maintenance. The third one is miscellaneous expenses. This account includes any other expenses that are not included in a separate account from the accounts described above. The last one is tax, representing the part actually paid to the government at the end of the year. Let's apply the previous rules. The following data was derived from the records of one of the insurance companies that conducted its life insurance activity, capitalization, properties and liability insurance at the end of June. The first part is the debit balance derived from revenue and expense. And when I say debit, it means that it is a deficit or surplus. Exactly, debit balance means it is a deficit or a loss. We have two types. According to the given, we have two types of deficit. A deficit from long-term medical therapy insurance 500, deficit from fire insurance 600. The second given is credit balance. Again, what is the meaning of credit balance? It means surplus, means revenue. According to the given, we have three different types of revenue. Surplus of life insurance, 12,000, surplus of car insurance, 500, and surplus of marine transport insurance, 9. Other sources of income includes net income collected from unallocated investments 1,600, miscellaneous expenses 1,900, other revenue 880, extraordinary income 100, extraordinary losses or expenses 140. If you know the following, depreciation of fixed asset is calculated for 180. Provisions are intended to be allocated as the following: 120 provision for tax, 100 provision for non-investments, and 24 provision production development. Insurance company, according to the given, is paying 40% net profit. Required, prepare the statement of insurance company profit and loss as required according to the law. Remember that. All you have to do is to put the order in its sequence according to the law. As we mentioned before, we have to start with the main activity. But according to the law, there are subcategories. What is the first type to be written or to be disclosed? Personal insurance and capitalization branch. According to the given, the personal insurance and capitalization branch is a positive, is a surplus, so I will write 12,000. The second item of revenue to be disclosed is the long-term medical therapy. According to the given, it is a debit balance. So again, what's the meaning of a debit balance? It is a loss. So it should be written between brackets. According to the given, it is 400. The third type of revenue to be disclosed is fire insurance branch. According to the given, it is a debit or a deficit. So it should be written in between brackets negative 600. The fourth type of revenue is automotive branch or car branch. Positive or surplus 500. The last item to be disclosed is the maritime transport. According to the given, it is a surplus positive. So the total premium or total income from the main activity will be equal to 12,400. The second item to be disclosed is the net income from unallocated investment, which is equal to 1,600. The next part to be disclosed is the other revenue, which is according to the given 880. So the total income equal to 14,880. The next part to be disclosed is depreciation of unassigned fixed assets, which is a negative or a kind of an expense, so it should be written between bracket 180. Other provisions, which include provision for tax, provision of non-investment, provision of production development. According to the given, the total of these provisions is negative 244. The next part to be disclosed is miscellaneous expense, and it is very obvious it's expense, so it should be written between bracket negative 1,900. So the net profit or loss before extraordinary item will be equal to 12,556. The next part to be disclosed is the profit or the loss from extraordinary items. According to the given, we have two types of extraordinary. We have extraordinary income 100 and we have extraordinary losses. Of course, I can deduct both numbers, will give me negative 40 because the losses from extraordinary is more than extraordinary income, so it would be written between brackets. Profit before tax will be equal to 12,516. I'm going to subtract or to calculate the expense, the tax expense, which is according to the given 40% of the income. So I'm going to multiply 40% multiply 12,516 will give me taxes. Between bracket taxes is a negative, so it should be written between bracket 5,006. The net profit after paying the tax will be equal to 7,509.